Hello world and welcome to World's End Tarot. Today I'm doing something a little different. I am doing a general pick a card reading for the month of October 2022. This is going to be for the air signs. So that's Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and it's for your sun, your moon, or your rising. The idea of these videos this month is so that you can flip around and chop and change and get as many readings as you prefer for your month and have it quite personalized. So we're going to see how that goes. I'm going to be choosing pinecones. Not choosing pinecones, you're going to be choosing pinecones for each of the piles. So let's have a closer look at the pinecones and then we're going to add a card to them. This is the first one, it's the largest of the three. That's for pile 1. I kind of felt like pinecones were nice and autumnal. Here's the medium pinecone, that's for pile 2. And then we have the smallest pinecone for pile 3. Okay, now let's choose some cards. I'm using Sacred Destiny Oracle by Denise Lynn. So this is for pile 1, please. Pile 1. Here we go. We have the relaxation card. I'll give you a closer look to these cards in a moment. For pile 2, please. There we go. We have enlightenment. And for pile 3, please, we have wonders. So here is pile 1 for relaxation. And here is pile 2 for enlightenment. And here is pile 3 for wonders. So as ever, take your time, let your intuition, your gut feeling guide you to which one is the reading for you, and I will see you in your reading. Hello pile 1, this is your reading for October for those of you who have an air sign in either your sun, your moon, or your rising. If you can hear my neighbour knocking around in his garden, I think he's chopping wood. I apologise for that, but we're gonna do this regardless. So you chose the largest pine cone. I'm gonna put that to the side. And you also chose the relaxation card. So let's pop that to the side and look a little closer at your short and sweet, timely reading for October, pile 1. So pile 1, please. This is their blessings. Okay. Oh my goodness. Another one just literally flew out. So I'm going to take that again and see what that's talking about here. Okay. Really interesting. Flew out. Blocks for our pile 1, please. For my air sign pile 1, please. Blocks. Thank you. Page of Wands. I think I'll just move you guys up a little bit here. Advice, please. Oh wow, okay. Okay. And overall messaging. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Wow. Some of these cards are coming up more than once. It's really interesting. Yeah, it's like really interesting. So I have actually, well, I mean, obviously, pile 1, you really need to take a break this October. I don't even, I mean, it's so obvious. I don't even know. I mean, I don't know what this is about, but what I'm seeing is you come to the end of a journey where like you just are completely depleted, and there is now a decision that you need to be making in October. And right now you're in a position that you're able to make it. I'm seeing this as turning up in terms of like, some really difficult things, like for example, what to do about the care of an elderly parent, what to do about whether or not to continue with a particular job or a particular stream of like a progression of a job, like whether or not like you really want to do that in another 10 years time, and like do you want to continue studying. I'm seeing it in terms of like this relationship has entered a period of experience where it's no longer fulfilling me anymore, and I don't feel like I'm fulfilling the person I'm with anymore, and like, do we split up? Do we get a divorce? Like, I'm seeing it in all kinds of different ways, okay? And it's difficult, or like, or giving up on a dream that we've had since I was a kid or something. There's lots of really hard questions coming up for you, pardon me, coming up for you in October, and you need a break. You need a break, pile one. You're not gonna, you're definitely in a position where you know the answer to the question anyway, but before you actually do anything about it, I would suggest that you're making sure that you have taken time to relax, that you have taken time to rest, that you have taken time to 100% understand what your decision is. Because this way that this is coming up right now for me is telling me that you're now in a position where you're able to make a final decision about something that has been burning you out. Regardless of what it is, you're going to know better than me. This is your reading, not mine. And this is a general, so please take that in mind. I also want to say that even though you're in a position to make a good choice, even though you're in a position to listen to yourself, even though you are in a position where you have come to the point where you're ready to make a decision, that you're actually able to see things in a certain way and actually go with that decision, you are not going to be in a position that tells me, here with the card the way it is, it seems like you're not going to be able to communicate this for a while. It feels like communication in terms of this particular choice is going to be very hard, maybe actually impossible at this moment, or at least during this month. So this is, I think, why we're getting this message of, you may have made the choice, but it's certainly not the time to speak it. Particularly if it's like a decision about leaving work, it may not be quite the time to put in your notice, for example. It may be time to take, I don't know, maybe it's like wait until Christmas or something, or have a period of relaxation before you start looking for a new job, and maybe you shouldn't be telling your employer before that. I'm not going to give you advice. That's not advice. Please be clear. This is a tarot YouTube channel. It's not a career advice channel, okay? And even then, I think they have disclaimers for that kind of thing. It's YouTube, okay? And also, I don't know your life. You know your life better than me. So you're the person who's responsible for this. But if this is resonating, I think you understand what I mean. It's not the right time to voice this decision. It's just the right time to have the decision. And the communication is just, it's not going to be easy. So I don't know if that means that people will take what you write in an email the wrong way, or that things will be misconstrued, or you will be misquoted, but it has that feeling of just not being able to have a proper conversation, like from where both parties are having the conversation in good faith, and that's the block that's showing up this month. It's almost as if you're I don't know, I can just see it so clearly in such a lot of different types of ways how this could be manifesting for any of you. The decision to leave a relationship and knowing it's not the right time to voice that, you know, the decision to move a relative into another place but it's not something that can happen for a couple of months, if at all, this year. And so there not being much reason yet to have that conversation, because it seems like the conversation will be quite hard to have. And so I feel like you need to muster your strength before that conversation happens, so that you're super clear going in, eventually, not this month I would say, but eventually super clear about what it is that you are looking to get out of any conversation you have about this particular issue that has needed a decision. So yeah, that's the very clear message that's coming up here for you, pile 1. I do have advice, and that is coming up very strongly with High Priestess. So this is all about listening to that inner voice, really, really, really having that time alone to really know what you think and what you want, which makes sense, because I think that's what that relaxation time Spirit's asking you to go take is all about. It's all about you taking responsibility for your decisions and taking responsibility for your life, and learning with yourself how to have that difficult conversation whenever it does happen. It is just about being more self-aware on a spiritual level, on an energetic level, about what you are looking to get out of this situation and how you're wishing to move on possibly from this situation, or how you're wishing to communicate what you would like to do about the situation. And that's really just what's coming up here, is taking time alone to really be listening to your inner voice, and that being the best way to wait this period out, because it does feel like it's not quite the right time for this conversation to happen. Saying that though, this is not a bad reading. It's funny because it's I feel like I just got really heavy and everything, and what I said was super serious, and I think that's because for many of you this is actually in the long term pretty serious. It's just that it doesn't have to be serious right now, or at least it doesn't have to be miserable. Why am I saying that? Well, the sun is coming up here with the overall message for October. This is actually about really reconnecting with your life, with the things that bring you joy, with the way that you are showing up and you are taking happiness where you can get it, that you are taking time to replenish your energies, and you are becoming a person who knows how to rest properly after a long time in a situation where rest was not necessarily possible. That's what I'm seeing. I mean, I know that this is the moon here, this energy card, and this is the sun, but the sun is reflecting off of the moon. I feel like that's a really nice way of explaining this High Priestess as well. The sun and your energy and your hopefulness, your life spirit, your joy, your energy within your own life, it bounces off that moon aspect of ourselves, the moon aspect being that inner workings, that shadow self. And so I don't want you to get so lost in feeling like the energies of the moon more. I mean, that comes through with the High Priestess, is this instinctual shadow kind of energy. I don't want you to get too lost in that. I really want you to be working from a place of hope and energy and light and life, and keeping it light, keeping it joyful, keeping it engaged in the everyday, keeping it active, as opposed to becoming somebody who's very, very internalized. And I feel like the way to get there properly is to take some time out to really make sure you're relaxing. Because it just doesn't feel quite like this is the right time to voice some of these decisions that you've already made or are about to make this month. And I hope that makes sense, because that was a really interesting reading. And I wish you all the best with it, pile 1. I hope you have a wonderful October. You have every chance of having a wonderful October. Make sure you're looking after yourself. And I will see you again soon. Bye, pile 1. Hello, pile 2. At least I hope you're pile 2. I've lost track of where I'm at right now, but we're going for this card, the Enlightenment card, and the middle-sized pine cone. That's what you chose. So let's have a little look and see what is going on with you. Let's have a look at the tarot cards. So I'm going to call you pile 2 during this reading. If you're pile 3, I apologize. but this is just for myself. This is for whoever picked the Enlightenment card and is an air sign, for Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in a sun, moon, rising. So Enlightenment here. Can I please have blessings for the Enlightenment cards for the pile 2? Blessings for this, please. Blessings for these people. Thank you. And can I please have the blocks for October, please? Blocks for October, thank you. It was very clear. And advice, please, for the Enlightenment pile 2 cards for my air signs. Enlightenment, please. Thank you. And overall message, please. Overall message for this month of October. Okay, thank you. That one. Okay, so my air sign. Things feel kind of foggy right now. That's what I'm getting. I'm seeing things feeling foggy. I'm seeing things feeling dark before the dawn. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing confusion and this need to have things cleared out for us. Some sort of clarity is being yearned for. And I'm also seeing that you're someone who's now able to have very difficult conversations. It's like you're able to express yourself in a way that you hadn't quite been able to before. You're not necessarily backing down from conflict. You're very much able to defend yourself. But it's funny, everything feels kind of... Not everything, that's a lazy way to say it. It's, I do feel like you're feeling a little like frustrated. And I am seeing that frustration being played out with the Chariot card. It feels like you're not really progressing. It's not really like, quite on the rate, like the journey is taking a longer time than it feels like it should do, or it's not even beginning yet. And it's just, there's a frustration about not getting where you feel like you should be. But I do see that you're becoming someone this month, pile 2. Sorry again if it's pile 3. I think it's pile 2 though. I'm seeing you, if you chose this card, as being somebody who is learning how to have those difficult conversations that you really know that you should be having. I'm seeing you being able to express your frustrations in a much more refined way. You're not slamming doors and screaming, F you, mom, stay out of my bedroom. Like, there's not, that's what this energy could have, but it's not like that. It's being able to sit down and actually have a conflicting conversation with somebody without attacking them as a person. And this is partly why there's this yearning for enlightenment, because it feels like you're not quite getting where you need to get to. And I don't know if that's necessarily like overall about your... I can see it being about things like career, and I can see it being about things like, yeah, relationships, I guess, but it really does feel a bit more like you're not quite getting where you need to get to in a conversation that you've been wanting to have with someone for a while. That's kind of how it's coming across. That's the more strong version. There's obviously other versions, and this is a general reading, so part of me and you together watching this, you are going to be helping me to make this reading better for yourself. You're doing some of the work for me. So you're going to know better what I'm talking about than even me. I am seeing it being something about not quite understanding... Not understanding, that's wrong. It's more... It's like you want things... Gosh, this is really hard to articulate. I'm seeing two people, maybe more, around a table having a very difficult conversation that's been a long time coming. That's what I'm seeing, okay? And I'm seeing that you are wanting to have things like, you want to clear the air, and you want that, like, to draw a line under it. And there's conflict about that. It's not necessarily what the other person or people are wanting to do. It's not necessarily a very easy thing to do, but there's something about that you know instinctively, that if you're able to achieve a difficult conversation, that everybody's going to be better off for it in the long term. And something about this conversation or meeting of minds or experience, I'm saying conversation, it's the best word I have for numerous different types of expression of this energy. Some of the reason that you want to have this conversation is, and it's not working, is just because you sense that if you are able to make it work, that you are going to feel so much lighter afterwards. And it's just something that needs to happen, which is partly why I'm seeing this block. In October, it's not necessarily going to be happening the way that you would like it to happen. There's resistance. I can see that there's resistance, and I don't know why that resistance is happening, because this is a short and sweet reading, but it's on your end in terms of how you're perceiving it and how you're feeling about it. It feels like there's a roadblock, and it's just kind of it's something irritating about it. That's what I'm sensing. It's irritating. Kind of feels like you're dealing with people who just are not on the same page of how they perceive this particular situation compared to yourself, and so that's just what I'm seeing in October. The thing is, though, you're right about feeling like things are going to change. I don't know if you're right about the conversation needing to happen, because we can't always expect other people to be on the same page as us, and we also can't always depend on other people's time scale for when things should and shouldn't happen, because ultimately they're not living our lives. We are. We can always decide for ourselves about how we feel about things, actually. I know it's difficult, but we can do that. We can choose to see things, and we can adjust our mindset so that even if we can't necessarily change the reality of a situation, we can certainly help ourselves feel differently about the situation. I am seeing, though, in October that you are starting to shed old energies that are no longer helpful for you. You're shedding those energies, and it's leading to an experience of enlightenment. And I feel like there are some people in your life that you would like to bring along with that journey, but they're resistant, or they don't agree with you that that's what's right for them, and that's fine. But I can see that there's frustration that you're having about that. But regardless of that, the energy that you're picking up on is correct. You are actually in a very transitional period. You are becoming, yes, more enlightened. I know it's on the nose, but it's true. The Death card here for me is very much, it's a new beginning. I don't know what this new beginning is, but it does feel like there is a breath of fresh air coming into your life, and the difficult conversation and the roadblock that's having, it's kind of like, it's like that's something that's happening, yes, but it does not actually mean that the new enlightenment, the new energy, the new beginning for you is not going to be happening anyway. It's just happening. It's what's happening. I don't know how else to say it. The image that I have is just of people in a circle trying to have a conversation, and some people not wanting to have it, and some people very, very desperate to have it, and that's just what the conflict feels like for me. But regardless, it's like it's already happening. It's like this transition period is already happening, regardless of how anybody else feels about it. You're just you're turning up in a different way in the world. So it's a little complicated though as well, I will say, pile 2. The thing is though, okay, I don't know how to say this really. Okay, so I feel like October generally is just gonna feel like, it's like you have this, it's like it's almost there. It's like it's so close you could almost touch it. You could almost taste it. Whatever this is that you're yearning for, and you are yearning for something, you're looking for this energy break. You're looking for this new sorry, I'm like burping so much. It must be like it's real. Gosh. It must be like I'm getting to the right place. You are looking for something, and it's happening totally, this new energy coming in. But it's not going to feel like that. It's going to feel like you have so many roadblocks, that you're not getting anywhere that you need to be, that everybody's stopping you, that regardless of how eloquent you're being, regardless of how articulate you're being, it's just like a lot of people just are not on the same page as you about it, and you're kind of being forced to accept that that's just where you're at right now, and that's just where the situation is at the minute. Even if you try your best, it's just not quite gonna work out that way. And so I will say for October, there does seem to be an overlying energy of feeling quite frustrated and feeling quite bored and feeling quite like, I wish this, I wish that. And I know that's an uncomfortable feeling, but I just want to say, like, overall Spirit really is saying, don't worry so much about that. It's okay. It's happening at the right time. It's happening on a schedule that makes sense, and the energy is shifting regardless of how you feel or anybody else feels about it. There is a new beginning starting right now. It's just that it's not necessarily obvious yet, but it's there. So, you know, keep your head in the game, keep trying to express yourself kindly if you can, and try not to get too frustrated with where you're already at, because the new beginning is already here and enlightenment is on its way. And I hope that this message was clear enough for October. I hope you have a really good October, regardless of the frustration I'm seeing in your cards pile too. I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you back here on my channel again. Okay, all the best. Bye. Hello pile 3, you chose the Wonders card and the tiny little pinecone. I'm kind of a little lost, so you might be pile 2, but I don't, you know, it doesn't really, I mean, it does matter, but it's not the most important thing. I'm really concentrating on your cards and your pinecone, so don't worry about that if I'm saying pile 2 sometimes or pile 3. I'm pretty sure you're pile 3 though. So let's do this. Let's go into your reading for October. For my air signs of Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, this is for those of you who chose the small pinecone and the Wonders card and have a sun, moon and rising card in an air sign. So let's say blessings for October, please. No, this one, thank you. Okay, we need some concentration and some nice cards, please. Thank you. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Okay, right. Blessings for October, please, for pile 3. Thank you. Finally. Okay. Blocks for October for pile 3, please. Blocks for October for pile 3, please. There we go. Advice for pile 3, please. Thank you. And overall message for pile 3, please. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Well, you're having quite an October, aren't you? That is some very heavy, exciting messages coming through here. Okay. So October is looking really nice for new beginnings here. Death card is taking out all of the old nasty crap that you don't need anymore, and it's coming in with some new golden energy for the autumnal period, or for the month of October, which I love to see, and I am really feeling in the air as well myself, pile 3. I really feel that this is very much this Wonders card. I do feel this is about the wonders of the galaxy, the wonders of the planet. Just feeling wondrous about where you're at, and like the fact that you're alive right now, and how completely bizarre it is that any of us ever are here, because the chances of being here are just so tiny that it's a miracle in itself that we are even here. And I can feel that this is some of the energy, this appreciation of the fact that you are alive, and that you are living a life, and that you are ready for a new chapter, and that is coming in for you in October this year. That is really definitely coming in with the energies. That's what I'm tapping into here. And just as I'm saying that, the sun is piercing through my window on what is probably quite a cold day, relatively, but right now it's beautiful and it's sunny and it's warm, and I feel good about that because it feels like that's a sort of supportive energy for what I've just said. So the blessing is looking beautiful for October for you. It's a really, really beautiful luck that you've got. Just this idea of anything that has ended, this feeling of change in the air, this feeling of transitional energies in the air. It's just what October is about for you, in whatever way that means in your own personal life, because it can mean all kinds of different things. But what I'm seeing is anything that wasn't helpful is going away, and everything that is new and is growing, those new shoots of development are happening for you, pile 3. It's funny though, sometimes when we have this level of change, we have this level of new beginning, we can actually find ourselves feeling really sad, particularly those of us who struggle with change, and there are more of us than you think. We are a strange species, the human race. We are a juxtaposition most of the time, and this is no different in your particular cards today. I feel that during October you're going to be struggling a little bit with feelings of loss. I feel like some stuff that you're leaving behind it could be that something that is changing isn't necessarily something that wasn't necessarily useful for you. It could be that there is some bereavement going on here. I have to say that because obviously this is the death card, and that has like can sometimes mean death. It usually doesn't though, but I think what it is just acknowledging the seasonal change of your life is actually happening can be quite hard and can feel quite mournful. Even if it feels right, even if it's the right choice and it's feeling good as well. There's also times when we go, oh my gosh, I can't remember getting this old. I still feel like I'm really a kid. Some of those types of feelings I'm seeing coming up. Just, I can't believe I left that really amazing job to do this crazy thing. Or can't believe my life used to be so different, and like I love my life now, but I also miss my old life. Those are some of the feelings that are coming up in this reading right now. And I would say it's not like so much that you're wrong, it's that you're right, and also that's not the full picture. You're also needing to be aware, because this is showing up in a block, kind of a block position in your reading, pile 3, that actually you are doing great and you are where you are supposed to be, and it's normal to feel feelings of grieving when things change, especially big changes, and that doesn't mean that the change is wrong. It just is part of the normal part of our human brain adjusting to change, especially big changes, is that at some point we will feel sad about what's not there anymore, but things are never the same forever. It's just not ever part of the human experience that things will always remain the same, and we have to come to terms with that in order for us to have space for new experiences and new adventures in our lives. And that's partly what October is about for you. There is definitely acknowledgement that you are going through something profound, and that is also healthy, and it's going to bring up some feelings that are uncomfortable sometimes, as well as really, really wonderful feelings too. And I definitely see that in your cards too. I'm seeing some really beautiful, wonderful things coming through in the cards. So, advice. We have the Emperor. You need to get your stuff in order. I don't know why there is so much change going on in your life. There's going to be lots of different reasons for those of you watching this. There's lots of different versions of that. I am seeing retirement for some people here, and I'm definitely seeing moving, and I'm seeing helping. It's funny because this is not the last time I've seen this, or the first time I've seen this, but I'm seeing some of you helping elderly parents or family members move into different places to live. There basically is some big stuff. There's some big movements going on here, and you need to be organized and you need to be strict with yourself about that, particularly things with legalities, particularly paperwork, particularly contracts and things like that. Also just making sure that you're being responsible with resources available to you, making sure that you are being fair and not overly authoritative, that you are somebody who is reliable and not someone who is bullying. Those are some of the things that Spirit is talking to me about with the Emperor card, because I actually feel that you're going to be in a position of quite a lot of significant power over other people, or in the very least over certain aspects of your life that you may not normally look at. So you need to be really responsible about that and not get carried away with enjoying the control of it, because it's a temporary thing. I'm seeing it as a temporary thing. I see it as being quite a transitional period. And then as well, lastly here, for we have overall message, because this world card turning up here in the overall message, I think is really beautiful. It's harping back to what I was talking about with the Five of Cups and the Death card combined. It's like the World card is both of these combined. It's like the best of both worlds. The best of both worlds, that makes sense. It's not just a time to grieve and feel sorrow about things that have changed and that things that have been lost. This is also a time for you to really understand how far you came, how far you have come, how far and how much you have accomplished, how successful you have been. Because this type of change only happens when you're completed a journey in a certain respect. And I really think that this is particularly important. Instead of grieving what you've lost, I really feel that you need to be taking a moment to celebrate what you have gained. And it might not be quite obvious in the first place, which is probably why Spirit is reminding you about this right now, but it's time for you to celebrate yourself. It's time for you to celebrate the rewards that you have actually worked towards, that things that have worked out so well, and that you have reached a particular stage of completion that, you know, many people may never experience and that you are experiencing right now. And you're very lucky. There's definitely that being spoken to. There's something about reminding yourself of your luck, partly because it's self-won luck. You have managed to get there yourself because of hard work. Yes, and it's really nice actually. Pile 3, like there's a reason why the World card's coming up here. You have a tendency to focus a little bit on the have-not side of your life, and you really need to be focusing on the other side where you've managed it and you've done really well. So I hope this was a comforting, exciting message for you for your month of October, Pile 3. I wish you all the best, and I'll see you back here soon. Bye.